Hey guys, it's me. Today I want to update you finally on the hormone blocker that I have been on for the last couple of months. I believe the video came out in March or April, so we're like in October now, so whatever, how many months that is. Over 6 months I have been on the hormone blocker. Now, why was I on the hormone blocker, you ask? So I was having a lot of issues with my testosterone levels. My testosterone levels were too low and my estrogen levels were too high, and it caused me to bleed. So I took progesterone pills every day to avoid bleeding, but sometimes I would still end up bleeding. And it wasn't every month, it was like maybe once every 6 months or once every 3 months. But that's still, I don't want to be bleeding, right? So in order for me to not bleed, I would either have to have a hysterectomy or try one more thing. Now the one more thing that I tried is hormone blockers. It's not actually called a hormone blocker, there's a name for it, but I can't say the name of the company or the actual medication because this video will be flagged not advertiser friendly because it's a brand, so I'll put it in the comments or something like that. So I was taking an injection intramuscularly every month. A nurse does it for me because this is not like a regular testosterone injection. This is very intense. There's like a powder and a liquid, and you have to put the liquid and the powder together. You have to shake it and then you have to inject it. No way am I doing that. So I had to go to my university and have nurses or some nurse friends do it for me every month. So then I went to get a blood test and I got my endocrinology appointment, and my endocrinologist told me that my levels are saying two different things, and they're actually very contradictory. So my testosterone levels are low. My testosterone level right now is an 8. So the issue with that is that the scale that we use here, I should be between 19 and 21. That's the range that my doctor wants me at, and I'm at an 8. Previous to this, last year I was at a 4. That is not good. That is lower than cis women. I should not be at a 4 for my testosterone. Now he says that because I'm on the gel and I apply gel every day, that my testosterone levels change daily. I don't know if I really believe that. I know he's the expert and stuff like that, but I don't know, to me that sounds a little So he says that maybe my application of testosterone that day wasn't as effective as the day before, and that's why it's an 8. But then he looks at my estrogen levels and he says that my estrogen levels are high. But the issue is that there is no estrogen in my body. The hormone blockers that I'm taking are being used to suppress the estrogen from my body because my body naturally produces estrogen. So when you inject the hormone blocker, it completely suppresses that. Which means that the testosterone that is now coming into my body is not being suppressed at all. It's taking over as the most dominant hormone. But because I'm on the hormone blocker, my doctor is saying that it is working because I'm not bleeding, I don't have cramps and all of that stuff, but I still have estrogen in my levels, which is confusing. So he is saying that my testosterone level is actually higher than an 8 right now, and that some of the testosterone is being converted into estrogen because that's what happens. When a lot of people have a high dose of testosterone, it doesn't actually change or make your changes faster. A lot of it will actually change and convert into estrogen, which you don't want that to happen because you want testosterone to be the #1 hormone and the dominant hormone in your body. So because I still have estrogen levels that are high or like at an okay range, my doctor is saying that I have enough testosterone in my body and some of it is being converted into estrogen. So it's not a bad thing. My levels aren't too high, aren't too low. I'm kind of like neutral. I'm okay right now. And he's saying this also because he looked at some of my other levels, my hemoglobin. I don't know what the name is in English, but he says it that way, and I think that that's what it's called here, but he's French, so like he might have an accent, whatever. Something about your red blood cells is very elevated and very high, and it has if the red blood count cell is too high, then you have a higher probability of clotting. Now he's saying that could be a problem, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Here's the thing, okay? My grandma had 6 strokes, my grandpa died of a heart attack at 42, my dad had a heart attack and a stroke, and my mom had a heart attack. Do you think blood clots run in my family? Yes, there is heart issues and clotting issues in my family, so I really need to be careful. But because my red blood cells are so high, that can only be attributed to testosterone in my doctor's eyes. So that means that yes, my testosterone levels are okay right now, just that day when I got the blood test done, they weren't that high. Maybe it's because it was in the morning, maybe I didn't do my application that day, who knows. So all in all, the hormone blocker is working and I'm going to continue on it. Now, it's a monthly injection that I was taking. It's about $367 monthly. It's covered under my insurance, so I don't have to pay anything. But there is an option to do a 3-month injection, and I asked him for it, and he was a bit like, I'm gonna give you a prescription for the monthly one. I'm like, can I please get the 3-month one, because I don't want to keep having to go to a nurse outside of my home and outside of whatever, blah blah, because I'm going to be graduating from my university soon. I won't have access to those nurses that I really like and that like understand why I'm on this, and I don't have to answer all these stupid questions. And he, for some reason, reluctantly gave me the prescription, but now I have a prescription to take the hormone blocker every 3 months. Do you know how much this shit cost? Oh my god, it's literally over $1,000. I think it was $1,262 or something like that. That is that's a crazy amount of money, but it's covered under my insurance. Thank God. I just have to pay my out-of-pocket max for the month, which is $100. And that includes all of my medications, like my hormones and my pills and, you know, my medications. Yeah, so thank God that's covered. So what I'll be doing now is taking the hormone blocker injection every 3 months, and I will still be getting it done by a nurse. And then in a year, about a year, I think? No, in 6 months, sorry, in 6 months, I have another appointment with my endocrinologist to see if it's working still, or if there's some issues, if we need to adjust some of the levels and stuff like that. But so far so good. I'm really glad to be on the hormone blocker. I wish that I wasn't on it. I wish that I didn't have any issues, and honestly I kind of feel like if I wasn't on the hormone blocker I would still be okay, but I don't want a chance having to bleed, or like the opportunity for my body to be like, oh, hello estrogen. Because for some reason the estrogen just dominates my body. Usually testosterone is the more dominating hormone, and that really like, it takes over. But for some reason my estrogen's like, no, 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 no. I'm number one over here, always and forever. Like, God. And yes, I know people are like, why don't you just get a hysterectomy? Listen, toots, I don't want to get a hysterectomy. It's my body. I don't want to have unnecessary surgery. The only reason why somebody would get, the only reason why I would get a hysterectomy is if it was medically necessary. It is not medically necessary. It is a myth that after 5 years on testosterone, you need to have a hysterectomy or else you're gonna get cancer. There's literally no research that proves this. I made a whole video about the myths of hysterectomies and all of that fun stuff in my Trans 101 series, and I will link that video in the description below so that I'm not babbling on forever about that. Anyways, if you have any questions specifically about the hormone blocker that I'm on, please let me know. Remember that I have been on testosterone now for over 7 years, and I am on hormone blockers, and I started that about 6 months ago. And it's generally used for people who are either right before puberty or have started puberty and are trying to repress the the estrogen, so that they can start testosterone. Like if you're under 18, that's usually when it's used. But all of that is explained in my Trans 101 series videos. But yes, like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know about the hormone blocker specifically. And I also just came out with a video not too long ago about a different way of administering testosterone. I'm no longer doing the gel on my arm and my back. I'm trying something new that no one has ever done before, that like no one has ever made a video about before, and I don't know anyone who's tried this. I'm sure people have tried this, but I've never heard anyone talk about it. It's the nasal gel here. I can't say the name of it, but I'll put it in the comments below. You put it in your nose, you spray it, and then, this way, and you put it in your nose, and then you just go like that, and that's it. That's your application for the day. Because of the mucosa, it really grips on more. Please go look at that video. I'll put that link in the description below as well. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for joining me. Love you. Bye.